Hey guys, this is Alex. Thanks for clicking and welcome to this lesson on going to, or be going to, and talking about the future in the past. Now, we know that we use going to talk about the future. So imagine this scenario. You finished your day, maybe at work, maybe at school, and you tell a friend of yours, a colleague, that you're going to call them at 8 p.m. So you make a promise, right? Let's say it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you tell your friend, okay, I'm going to call you at 8 p.m. tonight. So you have that on the board. Now this, I am going to call you, this is for a future plan. I think most of you know that at this point. Now, let's say that you can't call them at 8 p.m. for some reason. So you get home, you make dinner, you watch TV, maybe there's a family emergency, maybe you just forget, okay? Either way, for some reason, you cannot call your friend or your colleague. So you have to apologize afterwards, right? So for example, let's say that you remember at 9 p.m. that you had planned to call your friend. So you call your friend and you say, I'm sorry, I was going to call you at 8 p.m., but I forgot. So if you're talking about the future, in the past, you would use was or were going to. So in this situation, you're actually talking about something that you planned to do in the past, in the future, but you were interrupted for some reason. So again, maybe you forgot or an emergency happened. So as the sentence says, I was going to call you, but I forgot. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of more examples just to give you guys a good feel for how we actually use this future in the past construction. So keep in mind, again, we use going to talk about the future. Let's pretend that it's the present, and you're going back to the past and talking about another point in the future in the past. So I'm going to draw you a little chart. So again, here, you tell your friend, I am going to call you at 8 p.m., okay? And the day is going, it's 5 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock right here. Let's pretend this is 8 o'clock. Let's say this is 4 o'clock. This is 8 o'clock. You forgot to call your friend, basically. So now, in the present, it's 9 o'clock. You have to apologize to your friend. So you say, remember you made this promise. At this time you said, I am going to call you at 8 o'clock. You didn't call them at 8 o'clock. So now you have to say, well, I was going to call you at 8 o'clock because this is in the past, was going to, but I simply forgot. Okay, let's look at a couple of more examples, guys, and we'll be back in 1 second. Okay, so now we have a few more examples of using the future in the past with was going to or were going to. So the first one says, I always knew you were going to get married. The second one says, she said they were going to win, but they didn't. And the third one says, you promised that you were going to help me study. These are all examples of the future in the past. In the first example, I always knew you were going to get married. So, for example, if your friend, your best friend, always told you in the past, maybe 2 years ago, and you had a girlfriend at the time, and he said, you're going to marry this girl. You're going to get married. Okay? Now he's telling you in the present about the past, about the future in the past, saying, at that time, I always knew you were going to get married. Okay? In the second example, she said they were going to win, but they didn't. So let's imagine there's a soccer game, a hockey game, a basketball game, football, doesn't matter. And the game is at 7 o'clock. Okay? So at 7 o'clock, your friend says they're going to win. Okay? Whichever team it is, it doesn't matter. Now, it's 10 o'clock, the game is over, the team didn't win. Now, you could tell your friend about your other friend and say, well, she said they were going to win, but they didn't. They didn't win after all. But she said they were going to in the past, about the future. And the last one, you promised that you were going to help me study. So maybe 2 hours ago, you made a promise to your sister, your brother, a friend of yours, and you said, okay, I'm going to help you study. And 2 hours later comes, and you still haven't helped your sister or your friend. And so they come up to you and they say, well, in the past, you promised me. You said, I am going to help you study. So you promised that you were going to help me study. So again, the formula for this is subject plus was or were plus, sorry about that, going to plus base verb. So here you have this structure that you can clearly see. I always knew you were going to get base verb married. She said they, subject, were going to win. Okay, base verb. You promised that you, subject, were going to help, base verb, me study. Okay, if you're not confused yet, or if you are confused, you can test your understanding, test your knowledge on the engVid site by doing the quiz at the bottom of this video. All right, guys, good luck and take care. See ya.